Now I see.
Welcome back to Talk About Topeka. The problem that I have with this show is I'm really having a hard time finding anything to talk about in Topeka.
Yeah.
There's just no activities.
So we recruit Big Mouth.
Yep. We recruit you.
Joining us is Kim Schultz, the biggest mouth in the city.
Yes.
So. This is true. I've worked very hard for that reputation.
Oh, well, we're so excited that you're here. And of course, you get the information from people, all around the city of everything that's going on, and you have it with your Topeka Newsletter.
Yep, that is correct.
So do you want to tell us about it?
Sure.
No.
Nope. That's it.
More than she did a couple weeks ago.
And
we're done. Yeah, but there's a ton of events. There's lots of great things.
Well, a lot of people always ask me, because I think it takes a lot of time of doing it, and it does, but I do have like an outline. So I have an outline that we'll talk about like the bingos, the car shows, and all that stuff, and everything. Some things are on third Thursdays, first Fridays, and all that kind of stuff. So I do have a lot of it already in advance to do. So
she gave us a great outline how she puts it all a couple weeks ago, and she's going to be coming back every couple of weeks so that folks can keep updated on events. So what do we have coming up?
Every Friday and Saturday, the Classic Bean has live music. They always have a different thing, and they have like a little stage over in Fairlawn. I don't know if you've been in there, and so it's kind of like bluegrass, and it's just different stuff. And every time I've gone in there, it's really kind of cool.
So go get a hummus plate, because that's delicious. I get that every time I'm there.
Or I'm not gonna remember what it is, but it's one of it's all after music. All of their menus after music. So it's
the Beethoven, the
yeah.
Mozart,
those are
the
all,
John Adams.
Those good sandwiches.
I think it's John Adams that I've had. Yeah,
so
all of them are good.
It was really good. But they also have alcohol.
Mm-hmm, they do.
So coffee shop, yes, but then you can drink your alcohol and then sober up with your coffee and then call your cab to go home.
There you go.
It works. But that's on Friday.
Are you falling asleep, man? He does. Come on.
Classic Bean coffee.
I know.
I've listened to her talk for my entire life. So.
It just makes you want to pass out. I get it. Okay, what's next?
Okay, so then a lot of people do karaoke around here. So you have Abigail's does some karaoke. So June 26th there'll be some karaoke.
And there's Cosmos Karaoke that's here. At the break room.
Yeah, every first Saturday, that's the most amazing karaoke.
Right.
I mean, it's the best karaoke. Mm-hmm. We like to kind of brag about it because it is.
No biased information here.
No, but it is slightly different.
It is
there's a lot
different.
of the theater people from Topeka Civic Theater, and those guys are all good friends. We've known them for so long, and they come down and give you a show, really. I mean, it's more of a cabaret show. You don't have to come and sing karaoke.
No.
If you're a bad karaoke singer, you'll certainly be welcome to sing, and everyone will be accepting of you. Mm-hmm. But if you don't feel like you're one to get up on stage, just come and sit and have a couple of drinks, because you will be entertained by these people.
I've just noticed that I don't get cheered on to go sing, go sing. Everybody's really quiet when I get up. So
I'm sorry about that.
I know.
That wouldn't be there.
You should be sorry about it.
You come the first Saturday and I will cheer you on.
Yes,
I will cheer you on. We'll get up and we can sing a song together.
Okay.
And then, let's see here, anything else? Oh, Uncle Bo's. Uncle Bo's. Friday and Saturday night. They always have great music, and it's always packed. Prices are depending on which bands they bring in, but they're bringing in some national big name bands. So you expect to pay, and you're talking like $10. It's not like $60 to get in, but still it's a good time. Get there early if you want to get a good seat and all that kind of stuff. So they have a good time.
I think we both look exhausted.
We are exhausted.
We've been through the whole thing.
I've had a makeup artist. So
yes, that's
I had my makeup.
I know. I need a makeup artist now too.
I'm a big deal.
Yeah. Well, this is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, Big Mouth.
Something else that is on here that we didn't quite talk about were the farmers markets. There's tons of those, and they're going on. Well, I shouldn't say tons, but there's a good amount. You can get out there and get something.
This is a pretty good time to hit them. A lot of the stuff is in.
Yeah. Okay. Farmers Market Saturday is downtown. That's right across from the Judicial Building.
It's in the Judicial Center parking lot.
Okay. I mean, you never can tell where the parking lots belong.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Monday is at the library, and then Wednesday they have the Capital City Wellness, which is just right along.
Right by the Capitol on the north south side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the south side, and Eating local produce is actually pretty healthy for you. I just watched an article of this girl that had been sick, and comes to find out that it was some of the food that she was eating. So she eats seasonal now, meaning you eat what's in season. So if it's not in season, you don't want to eat whatever. And so she's like, find all your, in the summer, go to your farmer's market and make your menus from what's available, whether it's the corn on the cob and all that kind of stuff.
I want to go on a bunny trail with this one, but my parents do the Bountiful Baskets, and they get, you pay a certain amount of money, and it's a food co-op, and they just give you stuff where you have no idea what it is that you're gonna get. You'll get like 5 red potatoes, you get 3 persimmons, and all this stuff, but then you have to figure out, what am I gonna do with it? And so a lot of times we've had to Google stuff and be like, well, how are we gonna cook this? And it's just cool. It's really fun to go ahead and figure out, what's out there and all these different types of food. So it's pretty cool.
Well, and it broadens your horizon on what you're going to eat, as opposed to going in and getting the same can of green beans or the corn or just the stuff that you just always grab. You might go to the farmer's market and you might go, ooh, what is that? And normally they'll tell you how at the farmer's market they'll go, here's a great recipe for this or something like that. So you can get some of those there.
And then of course you're helping out a local farmer right here.
That's right.
You sure are.
Very cool.
The cruise nights, every Saturday in Topeka there's a cruise night, and different locations, and we went over those last time. So
it's pretty cool that they do that. I mean, that hasn't always been a thing. It's just kind of popped up.
Well, plus you don't get to see those cars all the time.
Yeah.
When you're out on the road, you don't always see those cars. Everybody's got a Toyota Camry or a Accord, whatever. But then you get to see these beautiful cars that people have restored, and
there's a lot of pride and joy that there should be, because of the maintenance that it takes. It's like a little baby,
It is.
And
they treat it as such.
They do. They should.
And it's different each time, because they don't all go, because there's so many car shows that just because, and some of them aren't even from Topeka, so they will go to Wamego, their car show. But the people that went to Wamego last week might come to Topeka. So these cars are going all over the place. It's not like the same cars going from location to location. There are hundreds of car shows in Kansas, and they go to different ones. So each time is different. And then you get to meet the cool people that actually own them, and they'll tell you all about the cars if you're interested.
And there's a ton of car shows, but we can find all of this information on your website.
Oh yeah, the Topeka Newsletter.
Yep.
.com.
And you can link to that through our website as well. So you can hear this podcast, you can watch our TV show.
Oh yeah.
All that stuff is on our website.
Look
so
at
any of this,
he thinks about that.
If you're listening on the radio and you're like, I don't remember all the stuff she said, well, go to our website, listen to the podcast version, because it's all right there for you to go check back at talkabouttopeka.com.
Yeah. And to get the complete list, you go to the
Topeka Newsletter, and you just scroll down to the bottom of the page,
very bottom,
look at the little button that says Topeka Newsletter, and sign right up for it.
Okay, I know that we're going to talk. You're going to tell us a little bit more about some other things that are coming up in a future episode. But also tell us a little bit about Brian Regan, who is coming back to TPAC. Do you know anything about him?
Brian Regan is, let's see here, it's one of the most respected comedians in the country.
Oh, did you pull that up? Okay.
Brian Regan is a legendary performer, selling out large venues from coast to coast and earning praise from the press, the public, and the fellow comedians, because I knew that you were going to ask me.
I'm going to tell you something.
I need to do some Brian Regan
I'm going to tell you
research.
something. For all of you people that have parents, or who are parents and have kids and all that kind of stuff, Brian Regan is a clean comic. He does not say a swear word in any of his shows, and he is the funniest man you will ever hear, listen to, be entertained by.
Yes.
He's very amazing. So I just saw that, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
She's Jamie Slack, and she approves that message.
I really do. I mean, he's great.
It says tickets are $41.75. That's a pretty reasonable price.
I have a lot of respect for comics who can keep their act clean, because it's so easy to stand up there on stage
and give boob jokes.
Or drop different words they shouldn't be saying.
Like curse words that really aren't necessary.
They don't need it.
Just throw it in.
I have no respect for that. If I hear it, I don't have a problem with it if it actually means something.
Right.
If there was thought put into why that would be there and why it's funny. But sometimes they're up there just.
Yeah,
Andrew Dice
I think it takes a lot of, this is my own personal opinion, it takes a lot of intelligence to be able to put together
Oh,
a
absolutely.
comedic show where you don't have any of that. You can even check him out online. You can just, Google Brian Regan. You'll find all his stuff. And he's actually, he just gives the best facial expressions. He's amazing. So.
And that's July 19th. Downtown.
Yep. $41.75 is the beginning price of those tickets.
And that's all it said. So the other ones might be sold out. I don't know. I mean, because it's getting down there.
So much stuff to do.
Who knows?
So, well, Kim, thanks for coming back this week here on Talk About Topeka. You'll come back every couple of weeks. Keep us updated on events and folks.
As long as you don't keep annoying him, because he keeps saying that he doesn't want to invite you back.
I'm going to tell you this. Ralph Hipp, when I went on to do the promo
Go ahead,
for our
talk
show,
about this. Let's talk.
He said, we were talking about it, and he had seen the show before it actually aired, because it's the magic of tape and all that stuff, and he said, you should be nice to your sister. And I said, I said that he did not understand how she had dropped me on my head and pushed me down the stairs.
I've never dropped him. Okay, first of all, I've never dropped him on his head. That was Terry Bills. And
her best friend.
Her best friend, and he let go, so that's his fault. And then when I was playing...
How old was I?
I don't know, you were like 2 or 3, but
yes,
you let go.
This is in the parking lot of
JC.
You let go, it was your fault.
It was his fault. And then
blame the
when
victim.
we were playing on the carpet and he was too little to play on the carpet on the stairs, the gate came down, bashed me in the eye, and I caught the kid. I am a hero.
Embellish every single detail
I did not
to make
embellish
herself
it.
look better.
I could embellish it, but I didn't. That was
I want proof.
We did scare him though, because we made him and his friend Nick go downstairs to turn a light off one time, and as soon as they got all the way to the bottom, my friend Terry and I went roar. I think they were like 4. They hit like 2 stairs. It was like boom, boom up the stairs. And
Never knew we could do it.
I actually just feel bad for your parents.
Oh, don't.
We had the best parents.
They didn't even know what was going on. We're pretty good at hiding stuff. Back in the day, you didn't tell your parents what went on. You'd get in trouble. You handled your problems underneath the table. It's like this. Who broke that? I don't know. I don't know.
You are the best. We're inviting you back. Thank you so much, Kim Schultz.
Do we have to?
Yes, we will. She's coming back.
I schedule everybody.
I know. It's going to work out that way. We'll be back again in just a moment here on Talk About Topeka. Hey there, welcome back to Talk About Topeka. And today we have, earlier we talked about Lifeline Children's Services, but now we have a different angle that we're kind of working this way, and this is with the Safe Families program. Now, the Safe Families program is more of a localized program in the area. We have Sue Smith here to tell us about it. Tell us a little bit more about your program.
Safe Families for Children is a national program. It's actually a movement started to impact and care for families in crisis, and it's in over 25 states and 60 cities in the United States. Started in Chicago. It is a early intervention wraparound to family in crisis to prevent abuse and neglect. So the heart of it is before abuse and neglect and before the need for foster care. Safe Families is a program that is designed in every local community who can start it to impact that.
Okay, so let's say that I do have, let's say that I'm a mother.
Yeah.
And I'm in a position where I am in an abuse situation, maybe even neglect. What do you do? What do you say to, how does this get handled? And how do you find out about me?
That's good. So Safe Families for Children, the goal is to empower and come alongside a parent who is in crisis, and so that they can get back on their feet. We can care for their children, and we can provide support and encouragement and real help to them so that they can be the strong parent. So the goal is the parent is the parent. And we believe they can do it, but they can't do it alone. Yeah. So a single mom, a family who has no one else, they hit a crisis, someone finds out about that crisis. Maybe a hospital, school, missions facility, it may be a neighborhood community center. They identify a family in crisis, family has no one, and they are at risk of all the things we don't want families to go through. So Safe Families comes alongside that parent to be able to help them.
And kind of helps them be a better parent.
Exactly.
Is what it's doing.
The real heart of Safe Families are equipping host families to be able to care for the children in their home while mom or dad get back on their feet. So say you have just escaped a domestic violence situation. you know that you're going to need to live a little bit transient, maybe at a shelter, maybe on a friend's couch, but your kids don't need to be in that unstable situation.
They need to be in bed early to get to school,
exactly,
and get all their meals.
That's right. So they can avoid truancy, so they can be cared for and loved. If you had a mom or grandma or grandpa, they might help you. But if you don't, there are host families in Topeka in the area who've said, we'll care for those kids while the parent gets back on their feet. Short term, 2 days to no more than 90 days, because it's not foster care and it's not replacing the parent. It's doing what extended family would do. We just do it in a very safe and secure way.
Schultz, and we've got a very special guest sitting with us. It's Brian Huffstutler. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing good.
You own Brian's Total Home, right?
That's correct.
All right, good.
In fact, I love the logo because I've seen the logo on the business cards.
Thank you.
It's fantastic.
Thank
and I
you.
know you had someone that did it for you.
Yes, I'm not that creative.
But still, I mean, that looks really nice. Anyway, aside from, I know you have a real question.
But your logo actually, in the name of your company, maybe has to do with initials too, right? Is that?
It's Brian's Total Home. Of course,
Yeah.
it's not my name initials.
What can you
Well,
change?
I know, but
what's your middle name?
Joe.
Well, why don't you change it to
Gosh.
T.A.
I think that was like that got
I'm looking
right.
at him like, you need to like change your middle name to like Ted.
Yeah.
That way it's like Brian's Total Homes, like your
My
initials.
father Joe might be offended.
No, but I just think it looks really cool, and I do think that, you know, obviously it's not the #1 thing when you're starting out a company is, oh, I hope I have a really nice logo. But that is a really nice kicker, because when people see a nice logo, they think this person's got it together then in all other arenas of the business world.
I think it's very important to have a good logo, a good appearance, to keep up things neat, clean. You know, have people show up to a job site and stuff's just everywhere.
Yeah.
They know right off the bat they're disorganized.
Yeah.
So I think organization is key to being successful in any field.
Well, let's start a little bit toward the beginning. You know, you were working just like everybody else, going in, getting the paycheck. You know, you were doing some of the home remodeling stuff already. And then you kind of decided you wanted to strike out on your own. Tell us kind of how that timeline went, because I know a lot of people feel like, that's what I want.
I thought about it for about 8 years. And I did.
Usually that's how long it takes.
And I did have my own business when I was very young, and I was a little bit in over my head, so I was a lot more cautious this time. Really wanted to think things through, have my ducks in a row, have a rainy day fund and money in the bank before I stepped out on my own, and I've just been remarkably fortunate. Mm-hmm. It could have gone either way, and it was beyond my control, and I was lucky.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is scary thinking too that you may not have the clients, you know, or like a client pool that, oh, well, here's a bunch of people that they love getting things remodeled. You don't just always have those people around.
No, and you never know. And it really is in Topeka word of mouth. Mm-hmm. You do a job for somebody, you do a good job, they tell 2 of their friends, and 2 of their friends tell 2 of their friends, and the next thing you know, you're busy.
Or you're worried that if it's a crappy job, and they're like, they tell 18 of their friends.
Oh, yeah.
Bad
news definitely travels faster.
So, but that's scary.
Yeah.
You know, that's a scary thing to go out and do on your own.
Yes.
Well, I think it's interesting because I have seen you from the time that you started in business, and I know you just decided to take that plunge, and now you're busy as heck. I mean, you got a great list of accomplishments already in a very short time you've been in business. Tell us some of the things that you're focusing on, specializing in here.
Well, of course, our favorite things to do are finish basements or do kitchen remodels. But what we find ourselves doing a lot of are outdoor additions.
Like a patio and stonework kind of stuff?
Like a enclosed sunroom or a patio or an outdoor area. There's a lot of baby boomers now that are reaching the retirement age, or they've newly retired, and they want to get these things done that they've been wanting for a long time, and they have the money now, so they just...
And they don't want to necessarily buy a new home. They just kind of want to make their existing home.
Yeah, and that's another thing. There's two types of people. Some want to buy maybe a little smaller home. Their kids are out of the house, and other people just want to update, renovate, and stay where they're at because they're comfortable.
We're here with Brian Chambers from the Boobie Trap. How you doing, Brian?
Good. You
came and talked to me a while back on the show. We had a little different show back then, different studio, everything, and moved into some better digs. But you came and told us all about it, so people could go back and look at that interview if they want to check out some of the preliminary stuff. Give us a little elevator speech about the Boobie Trap.
The Boobie Trap is a live music venue here in Topeka. We host all kinds of genres, from metal and punk shows that it kind of started at, and sort of evolved into a whole lot more kind of artsy rock bands, a lot of female-fronted bands from the area, just all kinds of things. But we do theme events, foam parties, color rave. We have all kinds of things coming up this summer. But yeah, it can be done in a bar. We've probably done it or have it coming.
Pushing the buttons.
That's right.
Yeah. Joining us in the studio are a couple of guys that I have a feeling got one of those "if you build it, they will come" kind of dreams coming to them. We're talking to Bill Brading and Lee Browning with B&B Backyard. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
First, tell us how you got that name.
Well, it's our last name, so it kind of worked out good.
It just worked together that way.
If you ask Lee, it's Browning and Brading, but if you ask me, it's Brading and Browning.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking too. Okay, so what is so great, and I think what is such a big push, especially in the Topeka area, is everyone's talking about, I want live music. I want to be able to go out and feel like I can interact with a group that's out, and I can also hang out with my friends, eat good food, and it seems like that's kind of the combination you have going here.
That's exactly what we have. We have an outdoor venue where we can put close to 1,000 people in the place. And so it's bigger than any of the bar and grills around town, but just not quite on a scale with the Expo Center or anything like that. So it's a nice little in-between where a lot of people can come out, hear live music, and have something good to eat, have a few drinks, and go on home.
This is with Bill's Diner, is where you own Bill's Diner.
It's in the back of Bill's Diner.
In the back,
Bill's Diner.
What a great addition to the North Topeka area. You know, Bill's Diner. Take just a second. Tell us a little bit about Bill's Diner and how it's been there, and why people should get out there and try it out.
Well, Bill's Diner started, we come up with the idea probably about 4 years ago. Bill had always dreamed about owning a restaurant.
If you build it, they will come, right?
So the spot became available. It was real close to where he was living at. So we're going on 4 years right now of owning Bill's Diner. And the first show that we had out back was that October. And
You've been doing it that long?
Yeah, it's kind of been a gradual, process. Each year it grows a little bit more and more. As we got a little more money to spend out back, we do. So
that's the best way. I love those kind of stories where people they learn from.
Yeah,
what
you
they're
kind of
doing.
figure out that your clientele wants something like that.
We wish you
pouring
so
some
much
concrete
success.
and things like that.
Yeah.
So
getting all that stuff
We
is
want
so
that
much
barbecue.
work.
We're now hungry. It wasn't very nice of you to come without barbecue.
We could have brought barbecue.
I know.
yeah, we do have barbecue on special Thursdays and Fridays up at the diner. So if you're interested in some good pulled pork or brisket, our cheesy potatoes are a real big seller too. So.
There we go.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, sounds good. Thank you guys so much
Thank
for
you.
joining us. And of course, this is at B&B Backyard. Great live music, wonderful things. And you can find out more information at BB Backyard. Is that right? .com, and you can find a whole lineup of everything that is going on. And of course, don't forget to go and get something to eat over at Bill's Diner as well.
Did you feel good with that? Get everything in?
I feel like I do it at the bar every night. So what's going on, man? How'd you get into this? Oh, well,
That's what I want here.